I never imagined this day would come. Vanessa, my partner, my friend, the one I trusted more than anyone, had stolen everything from me. I stood in the empty office, the cold fluorescent lights flickering, and my hands shook. "This can't be real," I whispered, my voice barely audible. My laptop, my files, even the company accounts, everything drained, gone. Liam's voice cut through the haze. "Alex, hey, breathe. Sit down." He placed a hand on my shoulder, but I jerked away. "Sit down?" I snapped, my heart pounding. "Liam, she took it all. She just walked in one day, smiled at me like nothing, and then, poof, my life, gone." Liam frowned. "I know it hurts, man, but screaming here isn't going to fix it." "Not fix it?" I laughed bitterly. "You think I can just fix it? She lied to me, Liam. Every promise, every plan we made, all lies." My voice cracked. I felt the heat of anger and the sting of tears. "I trusted her. I gave her everything." Liam rubbed his face. "I know, Alex, I know. But you have to step back. Think. You're not powerless. We'll find a way forward." I shook my head, pacing. Forward? How do I move forward when the person I built everything with is the one who stabbed me in the back? She didn't just leave me, she destroyed me. Liam tried, again calmer this time. "Listen, revenge won't help. Focus on what you can control." "What I can control?" I yelled. "My career, my reputation, my money, all gone. All because I trusted her." I sank onto a chair, my fists clenching. I was a fool. I thought she cared. I thought she was more than this. But she's nothing. Liam knelt beside me. "Alex, you're not nothing. You're angry because you care. That's proof that you're human. But wallowing won't fix anything. You need a plan." I looked at him, my eyes wild. "A plan?" "Liam, you don't understand. She made deals behind my back, moved our assets, took clients, she erased me from my own life. And the worst part? I can't even confront her without looking weak." "You're not weak," Liam said firmly. "You're hurt, but you can rise from this. You just need time to think." I laughed, a hollow, broken sound. Time? Time is the one thing I wasted on her. Every late night, every sacrifice, every sleepless hour she used it to build herself while My throat tightened. I swallowed hard, rage and heartbreak battling inside me. She didn't just take the company, Liam. She took my pride, my confidence, my everything. Liam's grip on my shoulder tightened. "Then take it back, Alex. Not today, not tomorrow. But someday you'll rebuild. You'll be smarter, stronger, and when you do, she won't matter." Not really. I stared at him, trying to see the logic in his words. "Stronger," I muttered, almost to myself. "Maybe you're right. Maybe I can rise from this. But how? How do I even start when the foundation I built my life on is gone?" "You start small," Liam said. "One step at a time. Learn, train, grow, and don't let her shadow your life anymore. Let her actions be the fuel, not the chains." I rubbed my temples. "Fuel chains." "Yeah, I see it now. I see it, Liam. She made me fall. But maybe I can fly from the ashes." The office felt heavier, darker, but a tiny spark of clarity cut through. I stood up, walking past my empty desks, past the shattered glass from the old negotiation room. I looked at the empty CEO chair and clenched my jaw. "Vanessa, you think you've won, but this isn't over, not even close." Liam gave me a faint smile. "That's the spirit. First we survive, then we rebuild. And trust me, when you rise, it'll be unstoppable." I didn't respond. Words felt weak compared to the storm inside me. Instead, I stared out the large office window, the city lights reflecting in my tear-filled eyes. I made a silent vow, not just to Liam, not just to the world, but to myself. I will rise. I will be stronger. I will never be broken like this again. The betrayal burned deep, but beneath it, a seed had been planted, one of fire, of resilience, of vengeance disguised as self-growth. And as I left the empty office that night, the shadows around me didn't feel as suffocating. No, they felt like the darkness before dawn. I will rise. I can't sleep. I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, my mind running in endless circles. Vanessa's face, that smug smile, haunts me. I keep asking myself, how did I miss it? How did I trust her so blindly? The question loops over and over, and every answer, I imagine, only makes my chest tighten. I finally get up and stumble to the bathroom mirror. I look at myself, pale, hollow-eyed, and broken. Is this what I've become? I whisper. A fool who let someone steal everything he worked for? I slam my hand on the sink. You trusted her, idiot. My reflection doesn't answer, but I can feel the anger simmering beneath the despair. My phone buzzes. A message from Liam. Alex, come out. Stop staring at your own misery. Let's get some air. I almost delete it, but I reply, not tonight. I can't stop thinking about how she's flaunting her life now. Photos of her at fancy restaurants, her new office, her followers praising her genius. It's unbearable. Later, I leave the apartment just to avoid being alone with my thoughts. Walking the streets, I bump into Mark, a former colleague. Alex, hey, I heard about the company. Tough luck, man. His awkward pity makes my stomach turn. Yeah, tough luck, I mutter, forcing a smile that doesn't reach my eyes. Every glance, every whisper, every sympathetic nod feels like a dagger twisting in me. I pass by a cafe and hear someone say, "Isn't that the guy Vanessa stole the startup from?" My stomach drops. I can't stop myself. I glance inside, hoping maybe it's not true. Of course it's true. People know. Everyone knows. And I feel exposed, humiliated, completely stripped bare. Liam catches up with me a block later. Alex, come on. You can't keep punishing yourself like this. Obsessing over Vanessa, it's poison. Poison? I laugh bitterly. You think I want this? You think I'm doing this for fun? She destroyed me, Liam. She ruined my life, my company, my reputation. And you tell me to just stop? You're letting her control your emotions, he says calmly. You give her the power to break you every time you think about her. I shake my head. You don't get it. She's everywhere. Social media, people talking, I can't escape her. I can't escape what she's done. He sighs. Then don't. Look, delete the apps. Block her. Live your life. I can't, I admit, my voice breaking. It's like she's in my blood now. Every client I lost, every person who doubts me, every failure I see, it's her doing. I can't breathe without feeling her shadow on me. We walk in silence for a while. I glance at the city lights and wonder if I've reached the bottom. If there's anything left in me worth saving. You're still breathing, Liam finally says. That's something. That's more than she's done. You're alive, Alex. That means you have a chance to rise again. But first, you need to let go of obsessing over her. I look at him, the streetlights casting shadows across his face. Let go, easier said than done. I keep reliving every word she said, every lie, every smile. It's like it won't leave me. I can't escape it, Liam. And it hurts. God, it hurts. So much. He puts a hand on my shoulder. Pain is the start of change. Let it burn, Alex, but don't let it consume you. Use it. Don't be her victim forever. I nod silently, though inside I feel nothing but despair. I replay every moment. Our meetings, her ideas, her sudden confidence, the way she laughed while I worked late nights. Every memory feels like salt on an open wound. As I walk back to my empty apartment, I stop at a store window. My reflection stares back, disheveled, hollow, exhausted. I almost don't recognize myself. And yet, somewhere deep down, under the shame, under the pain, a spark flickers. It's faint, barely visible, but it's there. And I tell myself, almost as a promise, I will rise from this. Somehow I will rise. I walked into the industry gala, heart pounding, stomach tight. Everywhere I looked, Vanessa was there, smiling, radiant, laughing with clients who used to be mine. She looked untouchable, untarnished. My chest tightened. How dare she flaunt this? I tried to keep my head down, but a familiar voice cut through my thoughts. Alex, didn't expect to see you here. It was Vanessa herself. Her smile was sharp, mocking. Wow, you actually came? Yeah, I said, forcing a calm tone I didn't feel. I wanted to see how things were going for you. She laughed, that piercing, self-satisfied laugh. Things? Oh, Alex, everything's perfect. Just perfect. The company's thriving. Clients love me and, well, I guess some people just don't. Rise to the occasion. My fist clenched at my sides. I felt my ears burn. Is that supposed to hurt me? I asked, voice tighter than I intended. Maybe, she said, leaning in, her eyes glinting. But honestly, Alex, I think it's more funny than anything. You always were too soft, too sentimental. It's charming in a way, really. I couldn't stand it. Charming? You stole everything. My work, my ideas, my life. And now you act like it's some little joke? Her smile faltered, but only for a second. Oh, Alex, you really think of it as stealing? I call it evolution, adaptation, survival. Maybe you should try it sometime. I turned, storming away, my hands shaking. People whispered as I passed. I could hear the judgment in their voices, the pity that stung more than her words. I can't be this broken anymore, I thought. I will not beg. I will not plead. I will not be her victim. I found Liam waiting outside on the terrace, his eyes sharp. You okay? He asked, noting my clenched jaw. Okay? I laughed bitterly. Do I look okay? He shrugged, calm as ever. Doesn't matter what you look like. You can stay broken, Alex, or you can rise. Your choice. His words hit me like a punch. Rise, I repeated it in my mind. Rise from humiliation, from loss, from the crushing weight of betrayal. Rise. I could feel something ignite in my chest. A fire, hot and sharp, cutting through the despair that had been suffocating me for weeks. Back at my apartment, I stared into the mirror. The reflection staring back was pale, tired, angry, but it was still me. My fists clenched, nails digging into my palms. I am done begging. I am done apologizing. I am done letting people, especially her, decide my worth. The anger wasn't reckless. It was focused, sharp, a blade honed by months of pain and humiliation. I could feel the first stirrings of determination, a promise to myself. I will take back control. I will rebuild. And I will do it on my terms. I sank onto the edge of my bed, breathing heavily, replaying Vanessa's smirk, her laugh, her careless confidence. Each memory stung, but it no longer crushed me. It fueled me. I could taste the fire now, mingled with hurt, and I welcomed it. Liam's words echoed. You can stay broken, or you can rise. I whispered to the mirror. I will rise. I will not be her shadow. I will not be broken. I imagined the days ahead, the nights spent working, learning, building. Every failure I had endured, every humiliation, every sleepless night, they would become tools. And someday I would stand above it all, unshaken, untouchable. For the first time in weeks, I smiled. Not a weak, hollow smile, but a small spark of something dangerous and beautiful. Hope forged in fire, anger turned into power. I clenched my fists one last time, staring into my reflection. This is just the beginning, I said. I'm not him anymore. The old Alex is gone. And in that moment, for the first time, I truly believed it. I woke up before dawn, the city still quiet. Outside my window, I rubbed my eyes and muttered, no more wasting time. Vanessa's face flashed in my mind, laughing at her empire while I had nothing. But instead of crushing me, it fueled something new, determination. I wasn't the broken man anymore. I would rise. By mid-morning, Liam met me at a coffee shop. "You ready to stop whining and actually do something?" he asked, sliding a folder across the table. "What's this?" I asked, flipping it open. "Business courses, investment strategies, entrepreneurship boot camps, the works. You're not getting your company back by sulking." I nodded slowly. "Okay, I'll do it. I want to learn everything." "Good," Liam said, "and I want you to meet someone who can actually push you." He waved a hand, and Sophia stepped in, sharp heels clicking on the floor. Her gaze cut through me, precise and unflinching. "Alex," she said, extending a hand, "heard a lot about your situation. Let's see if we can turn that mess into something worth remembering." I shook her hand, feeling the weight of her stare. "I'm ready. I want to learn." Sophia smirked. "Wanting isn't enough. You have to earn it. Every mistake you make is on you. Every success is only a step forward, not a crown." I swallowed hard. "I understand." Over the next few weeks, my life became a whirlwind. I attended seminars, watched lectures, and devoured books on finance, investments, and strategy. Sophia pushed me relentlessly. "You need to think bigger." "Alex," she said one afternoon as we analyzed market trends, "stop imagining small victories. Focus on systems, leverage, long-term gains. You're not rebuilding a lemonade stand. You're rebuilding your life." I nodded, scribbling notes furiously. "Got it. Systems, long-term. And stop being sentimental. Your old attachments are your weaknesses." "Vanessa's success?" I began, but she interrupted. "She doesn't matter. You matter. The sooner you stop looking at her, the sooner you rise." I clenched my fists under the table. Easier said than done, I thought. But her words hit me harder than I expected. The fire inside me burned brighter. One evening, after a particularly grueling workshop, I met Liam at the gym. I slammed my fist into the punching bag. "I hate her," I shouted, sweat dripping down my face. "Good," Liam said, watching me. "Use that hate. Let it fuel you, but don't let it control you." I nodded, taking deep breaths. "I can. Do this. I will do this." Every victory, no matter how small, felt like climbing a mountain. I landed my first mock investment correctly, saw my portfolio begin to grow, and received praise from Sophia. "Not bad," she said after reviewing my progress. "You're learning discipline, you're learning strategy, you're learning patience, keep it up." Failures stung harder. One deal I thought would succeed collapsed in minutes. I felt anger rise, disappointment boiling inside. But Sophia's voice echoed, "Failure is proof you're trying. Adjust, learn, move forward. Crying won't build an empire, Alex." I clenched my fists, refusing to cry. Instead, I planned, recalculated, and tried again. Slowly, methodically, I began to feel control returning. Social media was unavoidable. I saw Vanessa flaunting her company, smiling in expensive photos, celebrating deals. My chest ached, but it didn't break me. Let her have her moment, I thought. Mine is coming. Liam noticed my lingering stare one day. "Stop looking at her feed. Let her be. Focus on building yourself. Trust me." "I know," I said. "But it's hard seeing her like that. I worked so hard and she used to be your friend. Doesn't matter now. You're stronger than the past. Use it. Don't dwell." I nodded, swallowing the last of my bitterness. I could feel myself changing. Confidence returned slowly, quietly, in the way I spoke, the way I walked, the way I planned. The fire of betrayal had become the furnace of determination. That night I lay in bed reviewing notes from the day. Sophia's voice repeated in my head, "Earn it, fail, learn, rise." I whispered to the darkness, "I will rise. I will take back control. And one day she'll see I wasn't someone she could break." Sleep came finally, heavier than before, but this time it felt earned. I was no longer the broken man staring at a ruined company. I was Alex, learning, growing, rising from ashes. I stared at the signed contract, disbelief and adrenaline mixing into a wild cocktail. My first major deal. My hands shook as I ran a finger along the paper. I actually did it, I whispered to myself. Liam's voice cut through my shock. You did it? Hell yeah, you did it! He clapped me on the back so hard I almost stumbled. Finally! I was starting to think you'd never land something big. I can't believe it, I admitted. After months of failure, of everything, Sophia appeared behind me, arms crossed, eyes sharp. Believe it, Alex. You worked your ass off. For this. This isn't luck. It's discipline, strategy, and persistence. And don't think for a second this is the end. I blinked at her, still catching my breath. Not the end? No, she said firmly. This is only the beginning. You're getting the attention you've earned. Don't get comfortable. I laughed nervously, shaking my head. I feel different. People, they're looking at me differently. Liam grinned. Finally. People notice competence, Alex. People respect success. They didn't see the man you were before. Now they see the man you're becoming. I couldn't help but remember Vanessa. Her face, smug and untouchable, flashed in my mind. A small ping from my phone pulled me back. A message. It was from her. Hey, how's everything going? Heard some good news. I stared at it. The casual tone, the attempt to connect it made something twist inside me. But I didn't reply. Not today. Not ever. Maybe. Liam saw my hesitation. Don't even think about it, man. That's not for you. Focus on your wins, not her games. I nodded, slipping my phone into my pocket. You're right. She doesn't get to interrupt my progress anymore. Sophia leaned in, lowering her voice. Good. Every time you acknowledge her, you give her power. Right now, you have the power. Don't hand it back. I took a deep breath, letting her words sink in. I can feel it. People, they're noticing me. Even in meetings, clients look at me differently. Like I matter now. That's because you do, Liam said, smiling. You've earned it. And trust me, they'll start listening when you speak. They'll respect your decisions. You've come a long way from staring at empty offices and broken contracts. I chuckled, running a hand through my hair. It feels strange, but good. Empowering. Sophia's eyes softened just a little. Remember this feeling, Alex. Use it as fuel. Not arrogance. Fuel. You've rebuilt from nothing. This is your first victory, but many more are waiting. You've got to keep going. I swallowed, nodding. I will. I can't stop now. Not when I've finally tasted its success, respect, confidence. I want more of this, and I'll earn it step by step. Liam laughed and held up a bottle of sparkling water. Step 1, celebrate a little. Step 2, never stop climbing. You feel that? That's the power shift beginning. You're no longer the man everyone thought was broken. I raised the bottle, clinking it gently against his, to the first of many victories. To the rise, he replied, grinning. That night I went home and stared into the mirror. My reflection looked different, stronger, sharper, more alive. I traced the line of my jaw and the intensity in my eyes. You've changed, Alex. You're not the same person who begged for approval, who let others dictate your worth. You're you now. I felt a strange calm, a quiet pride. Vanessa's shadow still lingered in my mind, but it no longer chained me. The balance had shifted. I was the one moving forward, and she was left behind. I sent Sophia a quick message. Thank you, this wouldn't be possible without you. Her reply was immediate. Keep your eyes on the prize. This is only chapter 1 of your comeback. I smiled, feeling the weight of her words settle. She was right. This was only the beginning. The world was noticing me now, and I intended to make sure they kept noticing. I wasn't broken anymore. I was rising, and deep down, I knew Vanessa was beginning to notice too. I sank into the leather seat of my office chair, spinning slightly as the sunlight reflected off the skyline. The city felt smaller now, like it belonged to me, or at least a part of it did. "Can you believe this?" I muttered, staring at the new investment report stacked neatly on my desk. Liam leaned against the doorway, a grin plastered on his face. "Believe it? I've been watching you go from zero to, well, whatever this is. You've built something serious, Alex, real serious." "I know," I said, but my voice carried disbelief, a mix of pride and lingering shock. "It's insane. Properties, assets, partnerships, even the jet, Liam. I never thought I'd see this level." "You earned it," Liam said simply. "All those sleepless nights, all the time you poured in while the world thought you were done. They didn't see you, but now they do." I leaned back, hands clasped behind my head. "Do you remember the office after Vanessa left? Empty desks, half. Our clients gone, I felt like I'd been swallowed by nothing. And now," I trailed off, letting the weight of the contrast sink in. Sophia appeared, brisk as always, holding her tablet. "Now, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And don't let anyone convince you it's luck, Alex. Strategy, execution, relentless effort. That's why you're here." I smiled at her, but my mind flicked to Vanessa. I'd heard whispers from mutual acquaintances. Her company was faltering, her alliances crumbling. I couldn't suppress a smirk. "She's struggling," I said quietly. Sophia raised an eyebrow. "Good. But don't celebrate yet. Karma works in strange ways. Your focus should stay on growth, on building. That's the only revenge that matters." I nodded, feeling the clarity of her words. "I get it. I've worked too hard to waste. Time-dwelling. But it's strange, feeling this satisfaction knowing someone who betrayed me is losing grip. It's validating, I guess." Liam chuckled. "Validating is one word for it. I call it justice served quietly. You're the one rising while she's stumbling. And the best part? You didn't stoop. You just built." I laughed, the sound echoing in the empty office. "And the jet," I said, almost as a joke, "makes it feel real. Flying above everything, above the past, above her, above it all." Sophia rolled her eyes but smiled slightly. "Material things aren't everything, but they do mark milestones. And yes, I can see the symbolism in the jet." I leaned forward, voice dropping. "It's more than just symbolism. It's proof that I can control my life, my destiny. That the pain, the betrayal, the sleepless nights, they weren't in vain." Liam's grin widened. "Exactly. And now you're thinking bigger. Investors, partnerships, acquisitions people are listening to you. You're no longer following advice, you're giving it." I tapped a finger against my desk. "That's the biggest change. I used to crave approval, even from Vanessa. Now I trust myself, my instincts. I've become my own validation." Sophia nodded approvingly. "And that's when you start really winning. Confidence paired with skill, it's unstoppable." I glanced at the city below through the floor-to-ceiling windows, letting the view anchor me. Sometimes I still feel the sting, you know? The betrayal, the humiliation. But it doesn't paralyze me anymore. It fuels me. I think that's the difference between who I was and who I am." Liam leaned closer, voice softening. "Pain is a powerful motivator, Alex, but you've learned to wield it, not let it wield you. That's why you're standing here today, stronger, smarter, untouchable." I exhaled slowly, thinking of Vanessa again, imagining her struggling to maintain control of her faltering empire. And she's seeing all of this too, the deals, the properties, the connections. Maybe she realizes now what she lost, what she underestimated. Sophia smiled faintly. "Maybe. But that's her story, not yours. Focus on the empire you're building. Let karma handle the rest. And trust me, it will." I sat back, folding my hands, feeling the weight of my own success. "You're right. I can't control her. I can't control her mistakes. All I can do is keep growing, build more, strategize better, expand further. Every asset, every deal, every calculated risk, it's mine. All mine. Liam chuckled. That's the spirit. And the world is noticing. Clients, partners, even competitors. They know you're not just a player anymore. You're the one setting the pace. I smiled, eyes narrowing with focus. And I intend to keep setting it. Every step, every choice, every victory, it's building something untouchable, something permanent. I won't stop. I can't stop. I'm unstoppable now. Sophia nodded, her sharp gaze meeting mine. Good. Remember this feeling, Alex. Let it guide you. You've turned betrayal into power, pain into strategy, and loss into a launch pad. Now, you own your world. I glanced at the stack of contracts, the digital reports, the plans for expansion. I own it all, I murmured. And this is just the beginning. I sat in my office, coffee in hand, scrolling through the latest industry updates. Vanessa's company was falling apart, clients leaving, partnerships dissolving, and whispers about internal conflicts everywhere. A part of me wanted to smirk. Another part felt hollow. Liam appeared in the doorway, arms crossed. "You're watching her, aren't you?" he asked, a knowing grin on his face. I didn't look up. Maybe. It's impossible not to notice. She's struggling spectacularly. He chuckled. Spectacularly, huh? Sounds like you're enjoying it a bit too much. I took a sip of coffee, letting the bitterness settle. I won't lie, it's satisfying. She underestimated me, underestimated what I could become. But at the same time, it stings. Seeing someone you once trusted crumble like this, it's unsettling. Liam nodded. That's normal. You're human. But remember, this isn't about her. It's about you. Keep your eyes on your path. I exhaled slowly. I know, I can't help observing. The news, social media, industry chatter, everything points to her empire cracking. And every time I see it, a part of me wants to intervene, to say something. But I don't. I can't. Good, Liam said firmly. Restraint is power. Let karma do its work. You don't need to touch it, it's already happening. I nodded, feeling the truth in his words. She started reaching out too. Small messages at first, polite, then desperate. I've ignored everyone. Not because I don't care, but because I can't go back. I won't go back. Liam raised an eyebrow. Desperate, huh? That must be validating in a twisted way. I smiled faintly. It is. It's proof that the balance is shifting. I'm not the broken one anymore. I don't beg. I don't plead. She's the one noticing the consequences of her choices. Exactly, Liam said, walking over and leaning on the edge of my desk. You've built a life where you control your own power. That's the ultimate satisfaction. Watching her realize that she can't control you, it's a lesson she can't buy back. I nodded again, thinking of the subtle tone in her last message, her hesitant attempts to reconnect, and the growing panic in the industry chatter around her. I admit, part of me wants to warn her, to remind her of the mistakes she made. But I can't. I won't. She has to face it herself. Liam smiled knowingly. That's the difference between a man who's grown and a man who's still broken. You've grown. Pain didn't harden you in the wrong way, it strengthened you. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the skyline beyond the glass. It's strange I used to obsess over her approval. Every word, every glance, every decision she made seemed to define me. Now, I feel nothing but observation, detached, focused. I'm free from the chains she used to hold me in. Liam's expression softened. And that's why you'll keep rising. Keep building. The more detached you are, the stronger you become. Let her crumble. Let her see what she threw away. Your life is moving forward, and that's the only revenge that matters, I exhaled, feeling the tension in my chest slowly loosen. You're right. I'm not here to punish her. I'm here to succeed. Every deal, every investment, every expansion, that's my statement. My life, my rules. She doesn't get to touch it anymore. Liam nodded approvingly. Exactly. And believe me, people notice. Clients, colleagues, competitors, they're watching how you handle everything with poise and strategy. That's respect. That's influence. I smiled faintly, eyes narrowing with focus. Influence, yes. Power without malice. Control without revenge. That's who I am now. Watching her crumble is just a side effect. I won't let it distract me. Liam clapped me lightly on the shoulder. Good. Let her messages come, let the world talk. You stay focused and you keep building. She can't touch what you've earned. Not now, not ever. I nodded, feeling a calm resolve settle over me. Vanessa's empire was faltering, her attempts to reclaim the past futile. And I was untouchable. Not through hatred, not through spite, but because I had grown beyond it. I had risen while she fell. The convention hall buzzed with industry chatter, the hum of networking filling the air. I walked in, sharp suit, confident stride, every step measured. My private jet had just touched down, yet the power I felt came from years of blood, sweat, and discipline, not from any luxury. I spotted her almost immediately. Vanessa, standing by a display, laughing at something her assistant whispered. She didn't notice me at first, and for a split second, I allowed myself a quiet satisfaction. Then her eyes widened. Recognition hit her like a lightning bolt. I could see the hesitation, the shock, and then a flicker of fear. Alex? She said, her voice catching. I stopped a few feet away, hands relaxed at my sides. Vanessa, I said calmly, letting the single word carry weight. Her assistant stepped back, sensing the tension. Vanessa took a small, uncertain step forward. I didn't expect you looked different, successful, impressive. I raised an eyebrow, my gaze steady. Different? You mean grown. And yes, I've built what I always could. Without you. Her mouth opened, then closed. She swallowed hard. Alex, You what? I interrupted, my voice calm but firm. Came to apologize? Beg for reconciliation? Or maybe to explain yourself? Her eyes darted around nervously. I just wanted a chance to talk. To clear the air. Maybe start over? I let silence hang between us, letting her anxiety swell. Vanessa, I finally said, you had your chance. You stole from me. You left me with nothing. And you think words now can undo that? I didn't mean I wasn't thinking, she began, panic creeping in. I held up a hand, stopping her mid-plea. Save it. I've heard enough excuses in my life. Enough lies. What you did was calculated, and it destroyed everything we built. I don't need your explanations. I don't need your apologies. Her hand trembled slightly as she clutched her bag. But Alex, I shook my head. No. This isn't about what you want now. This is about reality. You made your choice. And your choice was betrayal. Irreversible. Vanessa's lips quivered. Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I thought I was doing what was best. I didn't know you'd... I leaned slightly closer, voice measured. You thought about yourself. That's all you ever did. And now you see the consequences. Not just to me, but to you. Clients leaving. Deals failing, do you feel the weight of it? She averted her gaze, swallowing. I never wanted it to go this far. I thought maybe we could what? I asked softly, but every syllable carried steel. Maybe we could betray and then expect forgiveness? Maybe we could destroy a man's life and think it's okay to step back later? I didn't think, she whispered, almost inaudible. You didn't think. Exactly. I let my gaze roam the hall, noting the curious glances of other industry leaders. And while you were thinking about what you could take, I was building, rising from the ashes you left me in. Every sleepless night, every failed pitch, every moment I wanted to quit, I grew, I transformed. I didn't beg, I didn't plead. And that's why I'm here, while you're watching the cracks in your empire spread. Her face paled, and she took a small step back. Alex, I just wanted to... To what? I interrupted again. To apologize? To reclaim some shred of your lost control? Too late. I don't owe you anything, Vanessa, and I won't allow you to manipulate the past or my success. She looked genuinely shocked, as if she expected rage, but instead she found composure, confidence. Silence filled my presence like a shield. I can't believe this. You've changed. You're untouchable, she said softly, almost a whisper. I've always been untouchable, I replied, letting the calm steel in my tone land. You just didn't see it before. You underestimated me, just like you, always did, and now your actions have no power over me, not here, not ever. Her lips quivered and she seemed to shrink under the weight of my words. Alex, Enough, I said firmly, straightening. This is where it ends. I'm focused on building, growing, and leading. You have your consequences. That's your life now. Nothing more for me to give. Vanessa nodded slowly, eyes downcast, speechless. I turned away, walking confidently through the convention hall, the buzz of deals, conversations, and ambition surrounding me. She didn't follow. She couldn't. The power dynamic had shifted completely, and as I walked past, I realized the final truth. I wasn't here to punish. I wasn't here for revenge. I was here because I had built myself, because I had risen, and because the man I became was untouchable, not through hate, not through spite, but because I finally valued myself. The conference room was packed. Executives, investors, and media cameras lined the edges, all eager for the quarterly announcements. I walked in confidently, tailored suit crisp, shoes polished. Every step echoed control and purpose. Liam gave me a nod, and Sophia's subtle smile told me she approved. I approached the podium, the microphone humming to life. Good morning, everyone, I began, voice steady. Thank you for joining. Today marks an important turning point for our company. Whispers ran through the room. Vanessa sat near the front, her posture rigid, lips pressed tight. I could feel her unease before I even addressed it. I want to start by acknowledging past challenges, I continued, eyes scanning the audience. Mistakes were made, decisions were questioned, but today we correct course, and I will start with accountability. Vanessa's eyes widened slightly. She instinctively straightened even more. I let a pause stretch, letting anticipation build. Vanessa, I said, turning toward her, you were entrusted with responsibilities critical to this company's growth. You failed. Your actions compromised both our clients and our team's trust, and for that, we need to take decisive action. Her fingers tightened around the edge of the table. She opened her mouth, but I raised a hand. Please, let me finish. This isn't personal. It's about integrity, leadership, and respect for everyone who works here. The room went silent. Cameras zoomed in. Liam sat nearby, fists clenched, and Sophia's eyes sparkled with approval. Effective immediately, I continued, Vanessa is no longer part of this organization. We are terminating her position and she will not return. Gasps rippled through the room. Vanessa's face paled, lips trembling. Alex, this you can't... I kept my voice calm, deliberate. Yes, Vanessa, I can, and I will. Every decision here is about preserving the future of this company. Your betrayal, your selfish choices, and your disregard for our team leave me no other option. She stood abruptly, chair scraping. You, after everything I made this company what it is, you can't just... I leaned slightly forward, gaze unwavering. You can't? You already tried, Vanessa. You stole, manipulated, and destroyed. I rebuilt it without you. And now, you face the consequences. Her breath came faster. I could see the panic in her eyes, the fear, the disbelief. Alex, please, we can fix this. I shook my head slowly. No, there is nothing to fix. Trust, once broken so deliberately, cannot be restored. I won't beg. I won't entertain excuses. Your actions have led us here, and the responsibility is yours alone." A few executives murmured in agreement. Some nodded at me, others scribbled notes. Vanessa's voice cracked. You can't do this in front of everyone." I smiled, faintly, controlled. "I can, and I will. Accountability is not private. Leadership demands transparency. You should have remembered that before you betrayed me and this team." Tears welled in her eyes. Her composure shattered completely. "Alex, you had your chance," I interrupted, voice soft but cutting. "I warned you, I advised you, and I trusted you. None of it mattered. Today is just the final reckoning. And now, it's over." She sank back into her chair, silent, humiliated, a shell of the confident woman she once was. Cameras clicked, recording every moment. I felt no gloating, no triumph, rooted in spite. This was justice, plain and simple. Liam's hand tapped lightly on my shoulder. "You did it," he whispered. Pride laced his tone. Sophia leaned in slightly, whispering, "That was perfect. Controlled, precise. You owned it." I nodded, allowing myself a deep breath. For years I had lived in chaos, betrayal, loss, humiliation. Every sleepless night, every doubt, every painful memory led me here. I reflected internally. Vanessa's betrayal had shattered me, yes, but it had also forced me to grow. Without her actions, I wouldn't have discovered the strength I carried, the resilience I now wielded. Every setback, every loss, every sleepless night had sculpted the man standing before this room. My gaze swept over the audience. Investors whispered in awe, executives scribbled notes, and my team looked relieved and energized. The power dynamic had shifted completely. I was untouchable, not because of money or assets, but because I had found worth in myself. Vanessa sat silently, watching, powerless. And for the first time in years, I felt no anger, no desire for revenge. Karma had handled the rest. I didn't need to act with cruelty. The truth alone had been enough. "Let's move forward," I said, turning attention to the room. "Our next quarter focuses on growth, innovation, and collaboration. We will rise together, stronger than ever." Applause filled the room. Cameras flashed. I felt Liam's approving glance, Sophia's satisfied smile, and in that moment I understood completely. The boy who once begged, pleaded, and faltered was gone. In his place stood a man who had endured, learned, and conquered, not through force, but through persistence and vision. I stepped down from the podium, keeping my composure, feeling a calm triumph ripple through me. The room still buzzed with energy, but my mind replayed the journey. Every betrayal, every pain, every lesson, each one a stepping stone to this moment. Vanessa avoided my gaze, silently accepting her fate. I walked past her with deliberate ease, shoulders back, heart steady. The man I had become was untouchable, not because I had wealth, fame, or power, but because I finally understood my worth. And in that realization, I smiled quietly, knowing I had won the greatest victory of all, over myself. I sat in the cockpit of my private jet, the hum of the engines a soothing rhythm against my thoughts. Clouds stretched endlessly beneath me, but my mind drifted back through the years, through betrayal, loss, sleepless nights, and the slow climb back to who I had become. Sophia was right, I muttered under my breath. It wasn't about revenge, it was about growth. Liam's voice came through the headset, calm as ever. "You're thinking too much again. Look at where you are. The boy who begged is gone. You built this with your own hands." "I know," I replied, gripping the controls lightly. "But I can't help reflecting. Vanessa, she was the catalyst. Without her betrayal, I might still be stuck." Liam chuckled. "Some lessons are learned the hard way. You survived the storm. Now you..."
"Soar above it."
I smiled faintly, recalling the humiliation, the sleepless nights staring at empty bank accounts, at the ruin she left behind. It's strange, I admitted. I don't feel anger anymore. I don't even crave revenge. I just understand. You've matured, Liam said. It's rare to see someone reach this level of control over their emotions. Most would still be seething. I guess the fire taught me more than pain ever could, I said quietly. Every sleepless night, every moment I doubted myself, it shaped me. Not into someone vengeful, but into someone capable, someone I can trust. Trusting yourself is the hardest part, Sophia's voice joined over the headset. Too many people spend their lives seeking approval from others. You finally stopped chasing her shadow. I let out a deep breath. I realize that now. My worth isn't her validation, nor the company she tried to steal. It's the choices I make, the persistence I carry, and the lessons I learned. Exactly, Sophia said. And it's ethical too. You didn't destroy her in public to satisfy a grudge. You acted with purpose, precision, and integrity. That's true power. I glanced down at the city below, lights flickering like stars, fallen to earth. I never imagined I'd get here, I admitted softly. From staring at an empty office, wondering if I'd ever recover to flying this jet, running my empire, earning respect. You earned it, Liam reminded me. All of it. The sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the self-doubt, it all paid off. I smiled, shaking my head. And yet, the thing I cherish most isn't the wealth or the power. It's this, freedom. The freedom to control my destiny, to rise without fear, to make choices unbound by anyone else's betrayal. Sophia's tone softened, almost maternal. Remember, Alex, success is meaningless without reflection. Without recognizing the journey, the effort, and the lessons, even the richest man is poor inside. I understand, I said. I forgive, in my own way. Not because I condone what was done, but because holding on to it would chain me forever. I'm grateful for the experience, even the pain. It made me stronger. And it will make you wiser, Liam added. Every decision moving forward will be grounded in the man you became, not the boy who was broken. I leaned back, letting the leather seat support me. The sun was rising ahead, casting golden hues across the sky. It's beautiful, I whispered. A reminder that new horizons are always ahead, no matter the past. Exactly, Sophia said. And you're ready for them, Alex. Not because of wealth, not because of revenge, but because you've mastered yourself. That's the ultimate victory. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the jet glide effortlessly. I am ready, I said firmly. Ready to make choices that reflect who I am, not who I was. Ready to build a future that honors resilience, ethics, and personal growth. The engines roared softly as I maneuvered the jet higher. Thank you, I murmured, silently to myself. Thank you for the lessons, the failures, and the triumphs. They brought me here, to freedom, independence, and peace. Liam's chuckle returned through the headset. You're flying, Alex, literally and figuratively. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I nodded, smiling, gripping the controls with calm assurance. The clouds parted, revealing endless blue skies ahead. I was no longer defined by betrayal, loss, or revenge. I was defined by strength, choice, and mastery over my own life. And as the jet soared higher, I knew this was only the beginning of everything I could become.